Okay, hello. I hope you guys can hear me now. I'm very, very sorry. I don't know why my Zoom is shutting down. I don't even know if it's network or whatever. So sorry, we can continue our class now. Okay, so I think we stop at the aspect of the question, right? So we said the question says one basic similarity between the nervous system and the endocrine system is that they what? The answer is they both involve the use of chemical substances. I'm going to use this thing to explain. I'm going to use the UTME standard of answering questions to explain. Now, for some of you that are here that are not really, really good in what is it called, like probably are not even good in that subject, but you don't want to just do guesswork. You don't want to do mini more. Just for like you want to answer the question at least and be very close to the answer. Something you can do that I usually teach my students is I call it introspective idea, whereby you can cross out the ones that are not the answer. Looking at the question here, we have the first one, the first option here, we have produce widespread effect. Not really. That's not similarity. Number two, they transmit very fast impulse. We perfectly know that impulse is electrical signal, and that is what is it called, and that's the work of nervous system. Nervous system is the one in charge of sending electrical signals, which is known as impulse. So C, or what was that? B, sorry, is not an option. Then the last one, which is D says produce precise and short life effects. Now, when it comes to short life effects, that's one of the difference between endocrine system and nervous system. Endocrine system send long-term effects, while nervous system sends short-term effects, short-lived effects. For example, when a fire comes, when you're like you're facing let's say you're facing your gate, you sit at home, you're facing your gate, and probably your younger sibling is bringing a lighted lighter, which is a splinter, close to your back. Immediately you start feeling this kind of hotness, this kind of feeling at your back. What do? You jump up. Now that's a very short-term effect. It's not like endocrine system, which take some time, years to make to show its effect. A good example is the puberty hormones. For the male, we have the testosterone. For the female, we have the estrogen. It took it years to start showing itself, and the same thing applies to the pregnancy hormone, the progesterone. I mean, many things like that. So I think with this little explanation now, I believe we all should have understand this now. So let's forge ahead. So as to be sure that I am not teaching myself, let me, if you are here, please, sorry for the last time interruption. Kindly drop an emoji. Let me be sure that we are here with me and I'm not the only one here. Please drop an emoji. Thank Drop an emoji, please. If you're here with me, kindly drop an emoji. Hello, are we there? Welcome to today's live class. Are we there? If you are here, please let me know. Wait, is there? I don't know. I just want to be sure you guys are seeing what I'm showing. Is the comment section not open? I think it is. Oh God, I want to be sure the comment section is open. Okay. The video is, I think I can see it. Okay. Okay. I want to be sure if the comment section. I hope I did not go and make this thing unlisted. I want to be sure the comment section is open. Okay. Thank you, Peter's Honey. Thank you, Adegunle Saidat. Hope I pronounced your name correctly. I've seen the comments now. Thank you so much. So let's continue. I'm sure of what I'm saying now. Okay, so now let's start. The topic today is endocrine system. Endocrine system, a very beautiful topic. You know, the beautiful thing is this. Let's cool ourselves down. Let's drop the pressure. Forget about the fear that in the next 3 days you'll be writing your UTME, you'll be sitting in that exam hall, sweating from your nose, praying to God. Some of you have not gone to church for like 6 months now because of your UTME, which is in a few days to come. You have started praying to Allah, you have started talking to God, you are now a good friend of Jesus Christ. It's beautiful. However, the first thing I want to tell you this afternoon is this: cool yourself down. You understand? Just enjoy the moment. Believe me, you're gonna pass, you're gonna blast the exam so well that you'll be wondering, is this me? Yeah, that's just the truth. So calm down. You understand? Calm down, enjoy yourself. You get enjoy yourself. Don't put yourself in too much pressure. You understand? That's the first thing. So if you're here with me, tell yourself in your heart that I'm gonna do well in this exam. I have studied, I have burned night candles, everything I study will come out. You grab. So cheers to that. So today's topic is endocrine system. What is endocrine system? Another name for it, first of all, is hormonal system. It is made up of glands that secrete hormones directly into the bloodstream. It's just the system. You know, I think I was having a class a few days ago, and I was telling the student that basically we have 11 major systems in human. That's around the human anatomy. We have the skeletal system, we have the muscular system, the lymphatic, the circulatory. All these systems have different guys. But endocrine system, his own work is just made up of different glands. A gland is like a pure water that produce water. And you know, a bag of pure water. So that bag of pure water is the gland. The water inside it is the hormone. That is endocrine system. So these hormones now, they regulate various body function in your body. These hormones, like I don't want to, you know, this is a live class. So I don't want to like consume you too much. I want to tell you something that you should be aware of. Almost everything about you, even the way you study, the way you eat, they are influenced by your hormones. You just notice that some of your younger ones or some of your elder brothers or your neighbors, they're also so sluggish. Like, hello, bro, I beg, let me carry that pot. He will just stretch his hand as if the devil is dying tomorrow. He's an hormone that's controlling him, to be honest. That's thyroxine. There are some people that they get very scared. Maybe they see cockroach in their compound or in their room like this. Like they can jump on your head. Not on you, they can jump on your head. That's an hormone controlling the person. Adrenaline. There are some of your female or male friends that they're just too what would I call it? They like boys too much. They like girls too much. They like the opposite sex too much. That is an sexual hormone controlling them. Estrogen and testosterone. Are you following something here? There's people that are too tall, gigantism. People that are too short, dwarfism. Is an hormone that's controlling it. So these hormones controls and regulate various body function in your body, such as growth, reproduction, balancing or homeostasis, balancing of the internal environment, metabolism, reproduction, and the likes. So that is what we want to do to the endocrine system. The next thing now, we have types of glands. Under the types of gland, we have number one, the endocrine glands. These glands, they are ductless glands that releases hormone directly into the blood, and which is one that is very common in your textbook. The thyroid gland, the pancreatic gland, the pituitary gland, the what is it called? The parathyroid gland and the likes. So we now have exocrine glands. These glands, they release secretion through ducts. I hope you're getting this thing. Let me calm down and explain it. You see endocrine gland, they release hormone. Exocrine gland, they release secretions. That one I release what you can call a chemical. You know, we learned this thing in under digestive system, whereby salivary gland releases saliva, and saliva contains ptyalin, and ptyalin helps to convert starch to maltose. Do you get something here? Are you following? Let's forge ahead. So write that down. Endocrine gland, and number two, exocrine gland. Let me wait. Let me see if people are here. If you cannot hear me, let me know. I'm shuffling in between the YouTube and what is it called? And my Zoom app. So write that down before we continue. Okay, I believe we should be done by now. Now let's talk about the major endocrine glands. We have number one, the pituitary gland. So the thing is, it's not your slide, like the slide you are seeing here, but I will suggest you, what is it called? I'll suggest you like you write them down according to the way to explain it. Do you understand? I'll suggest you write them down according to the way to explain it. Now, number one, we have pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is in the base of the brain. It's in the base of the brain. The base are all just like in between, inside the brain, in the middle of the brain. If you don't hear English, you should hear pidgin. Number two, we have thyroid gland. Thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is in the anterior region of the neck. Is in the anterior region of the neck. Kindly write that down, please. Thyroid gland is in the anterior region of the neck. I hope you're there. Now the next one is parathyroid gland. Parathyroid gland. Parathyroid gland is in the posterior region of the neck. It's in the posterior region of the neck. And the next one, we have adrenal gland. Adrenal gland is on top of the kidney. On top of the kidney. I'm taking it slow so that some of you can, jot something down. On top of the kidney. So next one, pancreas, which is known as some people call it pancreatic gland. That one is just like the loop of the duodenum. The loop of the duodenum. Are we following? The next one we have here is gonads. The gonads are just a collective name for the reproductive organ. So you know what that one is. We have it as testes and the ovaries. Then the next one we have pineal gland. Pineal, pineal gland. Pineal gland is located in the deep center of the brain. It's located between the two hemispheres in a groove where the two half of the thalamus join. So write it to paraphrase it for you. Write it there. It is located in a deep in the center of the brain. So I would have loved to tell you a funny thing about pineal. The hormone, what is it called? The hormone is secret. Let me tell you this short story. Let's borrow 3 minutes. Do you know that naturally as humans, that you kind of when you if you are so used to like sleeping around 11 p.m., and then you probably one day, you just step out, you went somewhere, either probably a VG or you just went to a club or something, and you not check time, you don't even know what time is. There is no time close to you. There was no phone, no wristwatch. Imagine it's around that 11 p.m. towards 11:30. From that 10:30 to 11:30, that's frame of 11 p.m. Your body starts to shut down. You just start seeing nothing is just working again. Not that you try to dance, your body is just closing. Do you know there's an hormone controlling it? The hormone is known as melatonin. It is secreted by pineal gland. It's not that regulates your sleep-wake cycle, which is one of the reasons why I don't know for now. I don't know now because most of you this generation, your sleeping pattern is so disrupted. Which is why if you know, I don't know, some of you, your parents, like especially the moms, they are so designed to wake up at a particular time in the morning without any alarm. Like my mom, maybe it's 5 a.m. Where alarm rings, alarm no ring, she'll surely be awake. It's because the melatonin has regulated her sleep-wake cycle. Are you following something here? So you can keep that in your head in case UTM try to throw it at you. Melatonin is the hormone secreted by pineal gland. Melatonin is MELATONIN. It's one that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. In a simple line, it's called your body clock. Now, thymus gland is in the upper chest, just behind the breastbone. Upper chest, which is just behind the breastbone. I think with this being said, now we can continue to the next level. Now let's do the question. The second question for the day is, which gland is often, out of all those glands I've mentioned now, which gland is often referred to as the master gland? Drop your answers. I'm going straight now to the YouTube. So check your answers. Which gland is often referred to as the master gland? Drop your answers. I'm waiting. So A, thyroid, B, pancreas, C, pituitary, D, adrenal. So which of these glands is referred to as the master gland? Choose your option, please. I'm waiting for your answers. Okay, I see C. I see another C. It's all right. Okay, drop more, drop more. Any other answers? Drop them. Yes, so the correct answer is C, pituitary gland. Please, I always say, no, this is online. This is a live class. You don't need to like going ahead to go and cheat to just make you get a mark. You don't need it for real. So if you are there to go and you can ask a Google or Meta AI, you are doing yourself new. I'll tell you my own. So the answer is C. Yeah, pituitary gland is known as the master gland, and the reason is because it produces an hormone that controls other gland. It's like just like in homeostasis, the master gland in homeostasis is the brain. And it's not because the brain basically does anything. If you are here, I hope you know what homeostasis is. Homeostasis is just the maintenance of a fairly constant internal environment, or the regulation of a fairly constant internal environment. It's just the scenario whereby your body try to like make sure that your internal environment is not overwhelmed either by heat or by cold or by water level or salt level. So out of the organs that does homeostasis, one of them is kidney, we have liver, we have skin, and we have hormone or endocrine glands. Now, these are the four major guys that does homeostasis, that regulates your internal environment. However, they call the brain the master gland because it's the one that controls all these guys to do the job. Same thing with pituitary gland. It produces an hormone called pituitrin, which controls other hormones. Even topic also. The topic hormones also does the same thing. So with this now, I think let's move on to the next game on the ground. Now we have the next question, which is question 3. It says, which hormone regulates the level of calcium in the blood? Drop your answers. Please, you don't need to cheat. You don't need to go and copy from somewhere. Just drop your answer. Which hormones regulate the level of calcium in the blood? Drop your answers. So the next question, now question 3. Drop your answers. Oh, I can see your answer, Gafar. Can see your answer. Drop your answer for question 3. Which hormone regulates the level of calcium in the blood? Okay, the answer of this is, wait, what was this? What did this person choose? Okay. Is there any other answer coming in? None. Okay. So the answer is parathormone. Parathormone is the hormone produced by the parathyroid gland. One of the work is to regulate the level of calcium content in the blood. So please jot these questions down. I intentionally just mixing questions to the class so that, who knows, you could be more familiar with the way the question comes out. Oh God, what's this? Okay, so let's continue then. Now, let's start. We will pick one of the glands one by one and start talking about them one by one. We have the first gland on today's list, pituitary gland. What's the location? The base of the brain. Pituitary gland produces several hormones. We have the likes of the growth hormone, which is known as the topic hormone. We have TSH. We have FSH, with the follicle secretion hormone. We have the LH. We have the ADH. You should be familiar with ADH if you know metastasis. ADH is this hormone called antidiuretic hormone. So one of the functions of all these guys is that, number one, we have controls other gland. And the one that controls other gland is known as the pituitary gland, pituitrin. I mentioned earlier that pituitrin is an hormone produced by pituitary gland. Please understand this thing perfectly well. Let me slow down for you guys. In the endocrine system, we have the gland. We have the location of the gland. Now, number one gland today now is pituitary gland. Pituitary gland location, where is the location? Where is that bag of hormone? Where is it located in the body? The base of the brain. Now, a gland can produce one or more hormones. Some produce one, some produce two, some produce many more. Do you get now? The hormones that pituitary gland produces, number one of them is the growth hormone, which is called topic hormone, TOPIC. It produces TSH. It produces FSH, it produces LH, it produces ADH, it produces somatotropin. I already mentioned a few in this slide. Are you getting something here? Now, the functions of pituitary gland alongside these hormones are, number one, it controls other gland. Number two, it regulates growth. For example, the topic hormone I mentioned regulates growth. Number three, water balance. Which of the hormone in pituitary gland does water balance? ADH. ADH is one of the is the hormone that helps us to do water balance during excretion by the kidney. ADH feminine is antidiuretic hormone. The other one on the slide says reproductive process, which is the work of FSH. Even TSH. FSH is follicle secretion hormone. Are we getting something here? So let's move on to the next. We don't have much time. The aim is not to consume time today. Number two here, we have thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is located in the neck, in the anterior region of the neck, below the larynx. If you are good with human anatomy, meaning the human structure, you will know where the larynx is in the body. So, but in a very simple way, I think for your secondary school syllabus, they write it there as I just say just now, anterior region of the neck. The hormone it produces is called tyrosine. Write it down, please. Tyrosine helps us to regulate metabolism, which is the reason why when somebody is low on tyrosine, the person tends to have what we call sluggishness. Yeah, you know, I don't know. you just you just tend to be sluggish. So an hyperactive child is synonymous to the child having oversecretion of tyrosine. Like he's just so ready to like run to jump. Immediately the tyrosine becomes low, you just slow down. I mean, you don't have anything again. You feel like the devil is coming tomorrow. And number two, what is it called? Function of tyrosine is energy production. Of course, since it's work for metabolism, it will end up with energy. And lastly, you also enable growth. Write it down also. Write this down. It's not in the slide, but write this down. It also aids growth in young animals, especially in tadpoles, and also aids metamorphosis. I hope you know metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is just the gradual change that occurs in a living organism from egg stage to adult stage. The likes that cockroaches and housefly, even toad exhibits. Difference between metamorphosis and the normal child bearing that we all are aware of is that metamorphosis, you grow outside a egg or in a human or in an animal body. Are you getting something here? Should I slow down? Wait, let me go to the YouTube again. Please, how many of us understand what I just explained about metamorphosis? If you understand, just drop yes. If you're here, you understand what I just explained in metamorphosis, drop yes, please. Okay, I'm waiting. For sugar in the book is insulin, right? For sugar in the no, it's sugar in the blood, not sugar in the book. Sugar in the blood, yes, it is insulin. For sugar in the blood, it is insulin, yes. Insulin is the hormone that regulates sugar contents in the blood. That's a very good question. For calcium content, it is what is it called? It is parathormone produced by parathyroid. For sugar content, it is insulin. So I'm waiting. I'm not really understand what I just explained about metamorphosis just now. Okay. Please drop your comments, please. Okay. I can see your comments. You don't. Okay, let me take it again. Let me take it again then. I said, um, okay. Somebody say no, somebody say yes. Okay, let's take it again then. Okay, blood. Yeah, I see your comments. Oh, and the comments coming in late. Oh, why is MTN doing like this now? Okay, I can see your comments. Okay, let's take it again. First of all, let's take it slowly. You know, we have kind of digressed from endocrine system. We are now in what we call metamorphosis. For the sake of some of you that want to go and study it again, you will see it under the topic called ah, it will be under the topic called I think development of new organism, but that will be plants. So it will be under any topic that related to reproduction, but it will be reproduction in lower organism. Not reproduction in invertebrate, oh. It will be no, I think it will be invertebrate. Either of the two. Reproduction in lower organism or reproduction in invertebrate, you can check it. So let me re-explain what metamorphosis mean now. I said earlier that metamorphosis is just what is it called? Is the gradual change that occurs in a living organism from the egg stage to the adult stage. Now I said metamorphosis is kind of different from the normal reproduction system that we understand or that we are very familiar with. Normal reproduction now we have two, right? We have viviparous, two major ones. We have viviparous and oviparous. Viviparous just simply means giving birth to the young ones. Why is my stuff here? Okay, yeah. It means giving birth to the young ones alive, meaning you will carry belly, You carry belle, some belle are 2 months or 3 months, like the likes of dog. Some are 9 months, like humans and goats. Some are 2 years, like elephants. Some are 4 years, like Nigerian belle. Now you will carry belle. That's viviparous. So which means you give birth to the child alive. So the child will grow and mature in your belly, which is the womb, which is biologically known as uterus, uterus, right? Now the thing is, don't forget that you kind of like the child in the womb now, in the uterus now, also went through development stages. But inside the uterus, it went through the stage of the egg, which is the zygotes to the embryo to the fetus, before they now give birth to it, we now start going for ikomo, naming ceremony. That is it. Now, for what is it called now? For oviparous, it means you lay eggs. You don't give birth to the young ones alive. Let's use the typical local fowl, for example. The local fowl lays egg. When it lays egg now, the chick, which is the baby fowl now, grows in the egg. So even the chick also pass through the same development stages you yourself pass through in your mother's womb, but inside the egg. Are you getting something here? It was inside the egg it was moving also from that level of also embryo and fetus. One clinician, please have it in mind that a mammal is mostly an organism, or in 90%, just means an organism, number one, that has mammary gland. What is mammary gland? Breast milk. Number two, a mammal is an animal that, that give it to their young ones alive. So dolphin and whale are mammals. They are not fishes. They only live inside ocean. They are mammals. A mermaid, I don't know if that one is in biology for you, a mermaid is a mammal. They only live inside water. Mami water is a mammal. A bat flies, but is a mammal. I hope you're getting something here. Now, the likes of aves, aves, right? The birds, reptiles, snakes, lizard, some amphibians, they lay egg. Egg is oviparous, meaning the child grow inside a let's call it a coven, but outside the mother's body. We can add this one to it. We now have oviviparous. Oviviparous is you kind of the child, like it's an egg, but the egg is inside the mother's womb. Very few snakes does it. I don't know. You tell me I not ask about it. It's very rare for you tell me to ask it. But if they do, have it in your mind. Oviviparous is in between viviparous and oviparous. Now, and I'll mention that metamorphosis is not viviparous, is not oviviparous, and is not oviparous. Metamorphosis is that the child, like, imagine the way that they conceive you as a human now. You're just a zygote, a mixture of an egg and a sperm, and then you form zygote. So imagine the zygotes, they not grow inside the uterus. Imagine for the likes of fowl, which is the domestic fowl, they not grow inside egg. The zygote was just they put it on one tree, or they put it on one fence, or they put it inside water, and the zygote outside, everybody can see it. Like you can see it with your naked eye. The zygote move, it change from embryo. You can see it. It's not going. That means it's already independent. Nobody's feeding it again. It grows. It turns to embryo. It was surviving. It's eating small. It cannot go to work, of course. It cannot go to school. From embryo, it move on to fetus, but not inside an egg and not inside any mother's body. It's not inside any body. It's not in the womb. It's just outside. It's surviving by itself alone. Then from fetus, it becomes mature. It starts turning to a baby. Then from a baby, it turns to child, adult, like that. That is the metamorphosis. The one that occurs outside the body of the mother. It's not egg. It's just the child survive on its own. A good example is the cockroach. Most of you here, you have cockroach case in your house. I think it's called something steel something. I can't remember again. The case. You will see it that the case is like brown like this. I don't want to share my screen. Or should I even share my screen? That would take a long process to start doing. That would be a long process. So I'll start to share my screen and show you the pouch of cockroach eggs. So the first stage is you lay the egg. The egg grows in pouch. I think the next stage is the nymph. I'm not sure cockroach exhibits complete metamorphosis. Yes, it does not. It's incomplete. I think it's incomplete. It's incomplete. So the next stage is the nymph. The nymph is the colorless what is it called? The colorless cockroach, and then from there to adult. Does it has imago? I don't think so. Then butterfly like that. So you can say that the growth of the stages of the growth is not inside an egg. It's not inside the mama's body. It's not inside the mother's body. It's outside. Same thing with the toad. Toad lays his egg outside in a water, in in an immobile water. That means the water that is not moving, mostly pond, all those gutter. Then the egg will be in a gel. Then from the gel, you can say the egg now is not an egg that we hatch. Oh. The egg will turn to tadpole. Guess what? At first, the tadpole is a baby toad that doesn't have legs. In fact, he's so um he's so undeveloped that he can't even move easily, he can't even swim. He has gills and a V shape on his head that is to attach to the roots of some plants or the soil that is close to the water. Then from that level now, he started having legs. Now he started having gills first. In fact, gills coming outside the mother's body, outside the egg. He's surviving on its own. From having gills, he started having legs. From having legs, he have the two legs. See the way it changes. That's the way you yourself, that's the way you are also in your mother's womb. But the only difference is just that you were not outside. You were in a very safe place. They were feeding you there. They gave you warm. That's warmth. You understand? They gave you warm. They make you feel warm. They gave you food. They gave you oxygen. Same thing with the eggs of lizard and the eggs of birds. They were surviving in that place. That place contained everything they want. The food, the water, the oxygen, the temperature, everything. That one is normal production. And if it's outside the egg or outside the body, now we call it metamorphosis. So toad exhibits metamorphosis. Insects exhibit metamorphosis. Cockroach, which is an insect, they all exhibit metamorphosis. So before I continue with the next slide, I'm going to come back to YouTube now. Now here, if you guys understand now. Do you understand now? Hello, do we understand? Please, if you understand, let me know, please. I'm only seeing one message. Okay. Yeah, I see your message. Please, if you understand, let me know, please. Those that said they didn't understand earlier, do you understand the process of metamorphosis and the difference it takes now? I'm waiting for a response. Oh, is he network that is dropping it slow? I don't know. Okay, thank you. I've seen it. Okay. Okay, it's all right. I think we have to fly ahead now. I've seen two response. That's enough. So that's just it. So you might want to jot this down. You might want to jot this down. I know we are doing endocrine system, but I mean this class is majorly a altogether revision for your UTME. So we said metamorphosis now, so you can write it down. Now we have two types of metamorphosis. We have complete metamorphosis and incomplete metamorphosis. Complete metamorphosis means it passed through the four stages. Complete stage. Write this down. It's not in the slide, so write this down if you can hear me. It passed through the four complete stage. Number one, egg, larva, pupa, and adult. So organism that is a bit complete metamorphosis is number one. We have butterfly, we have housefly, we have I think we have B2, yeah. We have B2. We have mosquito, yeah. We have mosquito, I think so. Write them out the way I'm saying them. Let me know if you're getting them. Since it's not in the slide. Number one, butterfly. Number two, we have B2. Number three, we have okay. Number one, butterfly. Number two, B2. Number three, I think I mentioned mosquito. Okay, yeah, I can see your message. Um, then we have B. Yeah, B is also complete metamorphosis. I think those are the few ones that I remember currently. So just keep them in your mind. I think you tell me might try to throw question from there. Yeah, okay. So the incomplete metamorphosis now. We have the like that now. Incomplete metamorphosis means it only passed through three stages, and we have grasshopper. In fact, just this is the fastest way we can know it. All those organisms that are already big, apart from lice, are mostly incomplete. For example, we have grasshopper. I know that one. We have cockroach. We have dragonfly. We have termites, and we have lice. I think with this now, we are done sidetracking to another topic entirely. So let's come back to our own normal topic. So the next hormone now, next gland is parathyroid gland. Parathyroid gland is behind the thyroid gland, which is why I said earlier that is at the posterior region of the neck, meaning behind. So it produces an hormone, just one major hormone, parathormone. And parathormone controls calcium and phosphate content in your blood. Calcium and these are see if you are staying in this class, these are the places that you tell me like punching question from. You see those ones that are cramming, most of the things that are cramming are not the things, but you tell me not. They just the jam officials, the jam boards, the jam itself, which is the board itself. They don't employ baby examiners, baby people want to set question for you. Do you get something here? They don't do that. These people that set question for you, they were once a student also. So then they know perfectly well how the student's mind thinks. Which is why most times you end up studying and studying and studying, and then you now go to exam hall, you'll be seeing Jagwadantis, you'll be seeing what you have not seen in your life. And this is not because it is not your textbook or it was not taught. It's basically because they just know that this is the places that the student will want to touch. And since the activity is called an exam is to test your your retention ability, how to like be able to like penetrate all the small holes in your textbooks and your notes. These are kind of things you put in your head. Paracetamol regulates calcium and phosphate content in the blood. Ta-da! Now, we are back again to our question. Question 4. Which hormone increases the reabsorption of water in the kidney tubules? Which hormone releases... which hormone increases the reabsorption of water in the kidney tubules? I love this question. I love this question for real. Okay, I'm waiting for your answers. Sorry. Drop your answers, please. I don't even know if it is a network that is delaying the responses. I don't know. But please, if I hear, kindly drop your response, please. Kindly drop your answers. Let's so we can continue. Okay, Islamiat. Islamiat, I've seen your own answer. Please, if you're active and you're online, kindly drop your answer so we can continue. Any other answer? Okay, yeah, the answer is B, which is ADH. Responsible for what is it called? For reabsorption of water in the kidney tubules. And I said earlier, ADH means antidiuretic hormone. I hope you got it. Oxytocin is the hormone responsible. I think yeah, oxytocin is also produced in the pituitary gland. Is the hormone responsible for wait, there are two of them, oxytocin and prolactin. Okay, oxytocin is responsible for the production of mammary milk, that's breast milk, while prolactin is responsible for the flowing of the milk. So that one is not the answer. Number C says insulin. I think somebody mentioned earlier in the chats in the comment section. Insulin is responsible for regulation of blood, of sugar in the blood, or blood sugar. So then D, adrenaline. Adrenaline is responsible for flight and fight. So I left with one answer, which is ADH, antidiuretic hormone. So let's move on. Okay, sorry. Then question 5. Please answer this question too. It says tyrosine and adrenaline are examples of hormone which control A, blood grouping, B, tongue rolling, C, behavioral pattern, D, color variation. So which of them, what was the answer of this? Now this I really wish you guys are really listening to this class. Seriously. I knew that the what is it called? The initial life I went whereby my Zoom shut down kind of made most of us to sleep on it. However, if you are still here, thank you for being here. This question here, this is a very typical kind of UTME question. Now, you need to like be very, very, very calm to understand this question. This one is not your textbook. It's not how I put it. It is not taught. It's just this one is like interpretation, which is one of the reasons why I always say I don't like theoretical chemistry, the one that involves story. Now, blood grouping. No, tyrosine does not influence blood grouping. And adrenaline does not involve blood grouping. That's A, B, and O. Nah. Tongue rolling. Nah. Tyrosine and adrenaline does not in any way involves itself in tongue rolling. The answer is C, behavioral patterns. Now, in the sense that we said earlier that tyrosine controls metabolism or regulates metabolism, and metabolism leads us to sluggishness or hyperactivity. Now, if you are sluggish or if you are hyperactive or you are very, very, playful and everything, that is not your behavior, it's your behavior. And adrenaline controls flight and fight, which makes you like either too aggressive or too timid, either very fast or slow. Now, if you combine both of this now, okay, if you combine the two of them now, it leads us to what? Behavioral pattern. So the answer here is behavioral what? Pattern, not color variation. I think we are done with question 5. So let's move back to our class. Adrenal gland, one of the most common, it's not common, one of the most well-known gland and hormone. It produces the hormone that we are very familiar with, which is adrenaline, also known as emergency hormone, also known as fight or flight hormone. Adrenaline is an hormone produced by the adrenal gland, which is, some people call it adrenaline. I used to have you, and I take column, which is above what is it called? The kidney, on top of the kidney, the two kidneys. So the function it does is, this one doesn't function itself. The function it does is, or let's say the influence it does is for fight and flight. So the influence you have on the body is number one, it does dilation of the pupil, dilation, which means the eyes get widens because of fear. When you see snake, like yay, then your eyes wide. Or when you check your account balance and you meet 0.15 naira, somebody have removed the money. May that not happen to us? So that's that. Number 2, increase heartbeat. It increases heartbeat. Number 3, it influences shivering. It makes you shiver. It causes sweaty palm. It creates goosebump. Anything that makes you anything that usually exhibits when you're scared or when you're terrified or when you're running, that's adrenaline. So I think it writes medulla and it writes cortex. Yes, it also secretes cortisol. And what is it called? And aldosterone. These kind of questions are more of A-level questions. I don't know. I've gone through the UTME Park several times. I rarely see questions from aldosterone. So I think but have it in the back of your mind that it is by adrenal gland. Let's continue. So then we have the pancreas. Like I said, sometimes it's being written as pancreatic gland in your textbook. It produces two major hormones. The first one is insulin. The insulin, here on your board, it is written as lowers blood glucose level, blood sugar level. Then glucagon raises blood glucose level. Now let me explain it now so you can jot it down. You see, insulin, how it does this is this. It converts blood sugar, which is glucose, it converts it to glycogen. Do you understand? So that means you have like, let's say, let's use an example, very common example, illustration, sorry. You have 10 liter of blood sugar, which is glucose, and you only need 2 liter at that time, at that moment. So the remaining 8 liter now is, that means it is excess, right? Insulin will convert it to glycogen and keep for you. Meaning it reduces it now. So now, after I convert the 8 liter, now how many liter remaining in your blood? 2 liter. So that's just why they said lowers blood sugar or blood glucose. Now, when you're now hungry and you need sugar or you need glucose for energy, glucagon converts the excess blood sugar that was converted to glycogen earlier. It converts it back to insulin. Are you following something here? It converts it back to insulin. So in that scenario now, you still say it means that what glucagon raises blood glucose level. I think we're done with that, right? The next one is the gonads. We have under that we have testes and the ovaries. The testes produce an hormone that we are perfectly familiar with if you're a guy, which is called testosterone. And that one does the male reproductive characteristics, the puberty characteristics for the male. The deepening of the voice, the production of sperm, what is it called? Even the muscular growth, even your strength, yes. So natural as a lady, or which most female boxer does sometimes, which is I think is illegal though. Or as a lady, if you inject yourself with testosterone, you kind of have more strength, like muscular strength. Yes, it boosts your adrenaline, which makes you more stronger. One of the reasons why it is very much easier for a male to beat a female, apart from in lions. So the ovaries produces major hormones, which is the estrogen and the progesterone. The estrogen is mostly the sexual hormone, while the progesterone is regarded as the as what is it called? As the pregnancy hormone. So the estrogen is also for the female characteristics, the puberty and the likes, while the progesterone is the kind of hormone that is triggered when a woman is pregnant or in pregnancy period. Yes, it's triggered. One of the reasons why your mom will be craving for amala that is hot around 2 a.m. with a head of goats and legs of catfish. I don't understand. It's progesterone. So that is that about that. So let's fly ahead. We are left with, I think I just want to finish the class in the next, possibly 14 minutes. So question 6 now. It says, which of the following is a function of insulin? I'm going to leave you to answer it. Which of those is a function of insulin? Yeah, we have some options. Yeah, the first option says increases blood sugar, converts glucose to glycogen. Whoa, wait, you need to calm. Okay, I've seen the answer. So you can see that. Look at something else happened here now. Earlier in the slide, when I mentioned the function of insulin, they said lowers the blood glucose level, right? Now, if you look at these options, now the 4 options here, none of them is in the option, which is one of the reasons why I always say some of you really need to know how to study. But most of you don't even know how to interpret at all. Let's be very honest. I mean, even intelligent students have, not just the non-unintelligent ones, intelligent ones, you guys don't know how to interpret. But you come from nowhere and be arguing. I think a question like that popped up when I dropped a question in our WhatsApp group about Boy's law and Charles law and Glass law thereabouts. Though there was a question that most of you will end up failing, not because it's hard or because you don't know, because you don't want to interpret. In these options here, the answer here is B. Convert glucose to glycogen, because when it converts glucose to glycogen, it invariably what reduces the glucose level in the blood. I think let's move on to question 7. Question 7. Let me go to the YouTube. Depending when you respond to the question, let me come back here and check the answers and everything that people are dropping. Okay. I don't know. You are not numbering it, sir. Back to insulin or back to glucose. Okay, Stephen or Joyce, I don't know. I'm pronouncing PH. Um, can you rephrase your question? I was not on YouTube, so I don't really know the question. Can you rephrase your question again, Joyce? Can you rephrase your question again, please? Okay, Dolakpo, I see your answer. Why can't you, Dolakpo, I see your answer. Islamiat, I see your answer. Joyce, I see your answer. No, I don't even know what you guys are answering, though. Is it question 6 or question 7? I'm sorry, I'm confused. But whichever way, Joyce, I'm waiting for your question. Can you rephrase it again, please? So I can answer before I go back to Zoom up. That's one of my students. That's one. That sound you just hear. That okay, is one of my students. It's okay now. Ah, oh Joyce. Okay. Stephen Joyce, you choose A. Blackman choose A. Islamia choose B. Maruf choose B. Joyce, I want to go back to class now. Rephrase your question, please. I want to know what you mean by sir. Is it back to insulin or back to glucose? I don't understand it. I'm going to give you just like half a minute more. That's 30 seconds more before I continue. Oh God, this foul is a foul. I should drop it now. I want to go back to class. Okay, let me check it one more time before I go back to class. I don't know if it's my MTN network. I'm receiving you guys' messages late. Oh God. Okay, so let me just answer the question. 7. The options we have there. Did you say anything? Okay, you said glucagon convert glycogen to insulin. No, that was. Oh, sorry. That was will I say I don't even know. That was slip of the tongue. No, glucagon converts glycogen back to glucose, not to insulin. No, because glucagon is an hormone. Insulin is an hormone. Insulin converts excess blood sugar, which is glucose, to glycogen. Then glucagon converts glycogen to insulin. Sorry, again, converts glycogen to glucose. One of the reasons why you have the energy to like the tenacity, the energy to like fight more and push more, no matter how tired you are. Okay, so let's answer it now. Question 7 said A, estrogen, B, progesterone, C, testosterone, then D, FSH, follicle, I think follicle shedding hormone thereabouts. So now the answer here is B, progesterone. Yes, estrogen is for sexual growth for the female animals, while progesterone is pregnancy hormone. Things that involve pregnancy, implantation, blah blah blah, is progesterone. We're not doing reproduction today. I'll have kind of chip it in, and again, time is not really on my side. I'll have chip it in to like I'll have chip it in so that you guys can understand more about reproduction. Immediately a woman gets pregnant. Immediately a woman so not even get pregnant. Let me use the biological word now. Immediately a woman conceive, which is conception, and conception is the period when the male reproductive gamete or cell, which is the sperm, fuse with the female gamete, which is the egg. Immediately at that point, what happens is this: the estrogen of the female, the production of the estrogen kind of reduces, while the progesterone increases. Are you getting something here? So it's as if it's just like saying, let's use Hawk for example. It's like saying Hawk now. Hawk can necessarily not fight when it's just normal, when it's Banners. I think that's his name, right? Banners. So if you really want to like show that he can fight or anything, he has to like bring out the anger and then turn to hawk. That's the way progesterone is. So both progesterone and estrogen, they don't really work at the same time, which is one of the reasons why you cannot menstruate when pregnant. Because you see the FSH, the LSH, and the estrogen, they become partially or close to being inactive during pregnancy period. For that period now, only the pregnancy hormone is more active, preparing you for what I call it, accommodation of the child, preparing for production of the mammary milk, preparing you for many things like that, even preparing you for mental strength. Which is one of the reasons I said, you see that I don't know, mothers have the capability to like handle their children, which most female mothers at that time cannot do. It's a psychological effect. B, progesterone. So some of you missed it. Just learn now. Let's move on. I think we are done with, we're almost done with our class now. So the plant hormones now, this is a short summary of ones. Let me give you my own kind of, the way it's like, I don't know, but the way I like put it in my head. Auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin. The three of them are mostly for growth, but just in a different way. Auxin promotes stem elongation, gibberellin promotes seed germination, cytokinin promotes cell division. The thing here is, you see, let me tell you something. Calm down. You see, auxin and gibberellin and cytokinin, they all do the same thing. But not just, like sometimes, auxin also promotes flowering, promotes seed germination, a little bit of it. Are you getting something here? It's just that, but the major place that auxin works the most is what? Stem elongation. And when you tell us to ask questions like this, what they usually do is this. They ask it in a way that like how I say it, that they'll combine it. They will say which of this is not a function of blah blah blah. So they'll give you the other functions of the other hormones. I don't know if you're familiar with solving homeostasis or hormone question in your UTME Park or past question. You must have come across this kind of thing. Have it at the back of your mind that the plant hormone does not really necessarily function in just one way, like animal hormones. That means auxin can help a little bit in seed germination, but the major function of auxin is what? Stem elongation. It can help a little bit with cell division, but the major function is still what? Stem elongation. So keep these 5 in your head, which are the 5 major hormones in even ethylene is not really a very core hormone, and ethylene is also what is it called? Is sometimes written as 18, depending on how they want to write it. I don't know why they write it that way though. So let's take it one more time. Auxin promotes stem elongation, gibberellin, seed germination, cytokinin, cell division. Abscisic acid, his own work is seedomancy. Seedomancy means that period whereby a seed must die to grow. So abscisic acid is what makes it like die before it grows. So just anything that involve opposite of what cytokinin, auxin, and gibberellin does is what abscisic acid does. Then lastly, ethylene, which is promotes ripening of fruits. So if you want to ripen your mango or your orange or your banana, you use ethylene. I think I'll give you guys a bit of seconds to like jot it down. I'm thinking of this. If you are here, should we run a Kahoot? Should we run a Kahoot quiz? While you are writing, please respond to that. You want to run a live Kahoot quiz? Okay, I think everybody should be done writing now. Let's move to the next slide. Now, the question 8. Which of the following plant hormone is responsible for fruit ripening? Listen up, please. There's a reason why I have to take my time to create this slide in this fashion. I believe that answering of questions kind of boosts retention. One of the things that lead us to creating what is called the daily dose, the Kahoot quiz, and all manner of questions pattern in our TWSS, the Weekend Science School. So the more you answer questions, whether in class or when you're talking with your friends, the more your brain kind of lock that thing in your head. I don't know if you get. So please always learn to answer questions. Drop your answers. Don't be that ghost listener or ghost viewer or ghost streamer. Thank you so much. Now let me go and check your answers and check what you say about the Kahoot quiz. Okay, question 8. So we are done with 8. Faramade, okay. Oh, sorry, we are still on 8. What are the following plant hormones is for the fruit ripening? C, okay? C. C, all of you are choosing C. How is it C? The answer is not C, oh. It's C in you. Okay, yes, the answer is C, ethylene, which is the hormone responsible for. Hello, listen up. Let me tell you something. This topic we are doing today was voted. It was voted by my students. However, if you know you're still studying, I predict it's not for everybody, of course. Like it's not that it will come out for everyone. But I predict that this year we have a dose, a high volume of questions. I've been saying for like a week now that this year might have a lot of plants questions. So I study your respiration in plants, study your respiration in plants, study what is it called? Your excretion in plants, digestion in plants. The plants don't really have a digestive tract, but at least they also like break down food. Study almost everything that involves plant transport in plants, the likes of active transport, transpiration, and the likes. Supporting system in plants. Go and study them all. Do we copy? So I think with this now, let's move on to the next slide. I'm bored. Question 9, answer this one too. Which hormone is responsible for the regulation of salt and water balance? Okay, the answer of this one, question 9, which hormone is responsible for the regulation of salt and water balance? I explained earlier that you might be familiar with ADH, but let me go and see your answers first. Let me know what's going on. Nobody has really responded to the ninth question. So drop your response, please. Okay, let's not burn time. Time is far gone. So number 9, the answer is C, aldosterone, a very close family member of ADH, antidiuretic hormone. So ADH, aldosterone, and cortisol, they are all produced in what is it called in by the adrenal gland. So that is the answer for C. I think with this now we can close for the day. Our target is to keep on going live at least twice or thrice a day, covering a topic in biology, chemistry, and physics. So let's meet again in the evening. Thank you so much for being with me today in today's class. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, if possible, share the link of the channel to your friends. Meet again this evening. And I think we'll be touching something on that chemistry or physics. Thank you. But before that, let's answer this number 10 question. I think this should be the last question. What is the result of oversecretion of insulin? I didn't want to see if we can answer this question. What's the result of oversecretion of insulin in the body? I did not delete the stuff. Okay, yeah. Is hypoglycemia. Now, when I was creating this slide, I kind of deleted the low blood sugar, but I forgot to delete the high blood sugar. But I know you guys will be able to know the answer. It makes you see high blood sugar. So have it at the back of your mind that hypoglycemia is just high blood sugar, while hypoglycemia is low blood sugar. And low blood sugar is that one is what is it called? Is will be caused by absence of glucagon. You understand? Or how I say it? Yeah, or absence of glucagon, or if you're not eating enough sugar-based food. You understand? So the and then is B. Wait, is there any? So we're coming. Before we close, let me see if there's any questions. I can respond to all of them. Wait, any question? So number 10 question says, what is the result of hypoglycemia? Sorry, hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, not high blood sugar. Hypoglycemia. Okay, any question before we close for the day? Martin, it's all right. Yeah, I even made an error. It's hypoglycemia, not hyper, because it's over secretion of insulin. That means if you have too much insulin in your blood sugar will not, that means that you will not have enough blood sugar because it will be converting the little one that is even there. So it's hypoglycemia. Please keep this in your head. Like we are not when we are treating exam, we don't really know what examiners want to say. We don't know what they want to write down for us. Our aim is to cover as much as possible so we can pass as much as possible. So it's all right. Any question for Jared? For close for the day. Sorry. Any question? I want to give you guys like a minute or two to drop any questions regarding hormone that you want to ask. Yeah, I see your answer, Stephen Joyce. I see your answer, Faramade. I see your answer, Islamiat. I see all your answers. So any question regarding hormone, kindly type them out. So make these 2:57:58. We'll close for the day. Okay, I think there is no question. Or let me check. I'm patiently waiting because of this network of a thing. I'm receiving your message is very late. Okay, there is no question. So do have a nice day, everyone. Let's meet again in the evening to treat one topic either in chemistry or physics. Bye.